Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about transit Saturn conjunct one's natal Chiron. When you have transits that involve Saturn, it could be about restrictions, limitations, structure, discipline, responsibilities, laborious work, and efforts. Now, when you have transit Saturn conjoin your natal Chiron, well, this thing manifests in restrictions, limitations, having structure, more discipline, taking responsibility, and laborious work and efforts. It could be in matters with physical or emotional wounds or distress. If you're having, if there's some physical issue that you've been procrastinating on, that's may need surgery. It might be something that's caused you a lot of suffering, or even something of a emotionally traumatic nature that may have caused some suffering. It might be the time where you may be more inclined to take responsibility for it at this time, or even dealing with it might require some laborious effort and work. I mean, if it's in Gemini, it might be some kind of issue, with the lungs, or as far as a physical matter, it might be something with the lungs or the arms. It might be carpal tunnel syndrome, something with the hands. It might be a breathing issue or disorder that you might have to take care of at this time, and it might be causing more difficulty, making you feel more despondent even. Now, another thing too, Chiron can be about our suffering, and it could be on an emotional, a mental, um, a physical level at this time. And Saturn may add more distress to this, and make you even be more fearful regarding these issues at this time. But it might be also a time to take more responsibility for this and actually do something about it. If you're in a situation where something has caused you to feel very melancholy, despondent, or dejected, it may be the time to actually do something about it. In some cases, I would think this could manifest in even seeking some kind of counseling with psychologists, or because you have to keep in mind that Saturn is a planet associated with despondency, depression. Chiron can be about suffering and emotional wounds, so this is the time where it might be more required to do something about this at this time, if it's something that has festered for a prolonged or protracted period. Now, another thing too is that Chiron on a positive end is about, it could be about healing and helping. It's been, as many of you may know, Chiron is referred to as the wounded healer. It could indicate areas where we're suffering and going through some difficulty or trauma or tribulation, but we also can we could use that energy. I mean, that's the energy that we can use, that we're not helping ourselves in, but we could actually benefit others in. And the thing is, we're also in we're area in life we're experiencing suffering in, but we can actually help others with that same energy. And the thing about this too is that it can be something where there might be more discipline, structure, and consistency in terms of helping a person, at this time. And if it's in, Taurus or the second house, it might be something with a monetary nature, maybe providing creature comforts to an individual, and might be trying to give some kind of peace and stability in that person's life. And also, too, I mean, Chiron can be associated with that pain that runs very deep, and something that may have hurt us and might have been, seem like eons ago, but might still be festering, and it might be causing more sorrow at this time, more so than usual. Say if this is in Capricorn, it might be something connected with a business matter, or some situation that might have been tied in with the government, or something with your reputation, your status. And if it was in the 10th house, it could manifest in the same manner. And the thing about this too, see, Chiron is also about weakness, and the thing is, this could be an area in life, say if you have this in Aries as an example, person might have, I have actually have this in Aries in the 12th house, so it could be, some just general, weakness connected with, maybe lack of assertiveness, enterprise, initiative, and being able to get out of my, limitations or what have you, restrictions. That's the 12th house. And maybe standing up to people that really weren't my friends, that were hidden adversaries. Now, another thing, and it could be bringing more sorrow at this time, more so than usual, the fact that Saturn is hitting your natal Chiron. And it could be something too, and also taking responsibility for these weaknesses at this time. And also, Chiron can be associated with diminished self-esteem or self-worth and how you feel about yourself. So this could be a time where you might be, there might be certain, there could be some, restriction, might even be more, I'm going to say restricting, but there might be more sorrow and sadness in connection with this. Maybe this is a time to work hard and work laboriously on, on those things that are connected with your depleted self-esteem and self-worth. What it is, connected, whatever the sign it's in, house, it might be a time to actually try to work on those issues at this point. And now another way this could be expressed and how it can manifest is that it could be about a father or an older person prominent in your life scheme. It could even be, could be a grandparent even. It might be more prominent in ways you may be helping and healing other people. Now let's say, for example, this is an Aquarius in the 5th house in a natal chart. It could be through, perhaps through bringing, some tech labs or robotics, which is Aquarius, for children, which is the 5th house, maybe in inner city schools, and, schools that have children that have limiting situations, whether they're impoverished or, they're in a poverty situation, or, they have lack of resources. It can be also too, this could also be about laborious efforts. Again, as I stated, where it could be about a lot of hard work in industry and matters that are associated with the lack of self-worth and self-esteem. Say if this is in Virgo in your 1st house as an example, it could be about matters with physical fitness, because Virgo is about health. The 1st house is the physical body. It might be a time when you start a real strong health regime and workout regime, and working out vigorously to try to improve your physical body and help yourself feel better about yourself in the process. Say if it's in Gemini in the 5th house as another example, it may manifest in maybe getting some kind of brain teasers, which could be Gemini, and playing those games, and might be helping you, increase your, as far as your mental agility. And if that's an area where you might feel, somewhat insecure in, that could be an area where you can improve. Because I would say Chiron, it could be an area, and it could be connected with where we might feel, some kind of ineptitude, or where we're lacking to some degree. And the thing is, also too, this could be about taking responsibility to area, again, what I was stating before about the areas like that you could be inept in. Say if this is in, like in my example, in my chart, if it falls in Aries in your 12th house as an example, it might be a time where trying to really taking responsibility for having the courage and fortitude, which is Aries, to combat and confront and hidden adversaries and enemies, of course, is associated with the 12th house. And it's also a time where you might, Saturn could be very introverted, introspective energy. It might be a period too where you may be more introspective than usual, and about the wound, as far as wounds that run deep. It might be a time where you might be to try to isolate yourself and really start meditate, really, might be ruminating, might be really thinking about these things and what you might want to do about them. Now, could be, again, going back to Aries in the 12th house as an example. It might be some kind of, it might be maybe it was a physical confrontation or some battle, which is Aries, that might have been tied into secret sorrows, which of course is the 12th house. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, it could also be at a time now in isolated remote cases, this could also manifest in Saturn related suffering. Um, it can be, physical debilitation. This could be something, like for example, with the bones, something Saturn related could be the bones, the skin, the joints, the hamstrings, the knees. And these chronic debilitations might cause more suffering. Now, another way it could also pan out, I mean, because Saturn is about chronic debilitations and Chiron can be connected with suffering, physical, emotional wounds. This could be a time where, depending on the sign that Saturn is in, it can be a chronic debilitation connected with that sign that might be causing you more suffering, more so than usual. I mean, if it's in Scorpio, it could be something with the bladder or the colon or prostate. Gemini, it might be something with the breathing, the lungs. It could be something with the arms, the nerves. It might be carpal tunnel, some issue, with the, maybe as well with the again going, something with the arms, like something with the tricep or bicep area that may be more problematic, more so than usual. If it's in the zodiac sign Cancer, it could be something with the chest or the breast area, or even with the stomach. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.